Okay, so this is for my nutrition class. So wait,
Yes,
does it
ma'am,
say it?
tell me.
Okay. Um, I'm just gonna make sure this is working.
Y'all do your thing, I'll be right back.
But so I don't want this to be like just about you aging, but the class is called Nutrition and Aging.
It is as it is, Julia.
Yeah. But so how do you think, so we learned a bit about like oral and taste sensation and how that changes. So do you notice any your any of your taste buds changing, or like your hearing, how that's changed?
All right, the taste buds, I haven't noticed as much because I don't eat as much. And
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, Sally notices that I use more salt or seasoning on food.
Yeah.
So I guess things get more bland, but it doesn't take a whole lot for me.
Yeah, and I know you have a sweet tooth like me, so
I do. I do. I've always had a sweet tooth. That's nothing that's come with age.
yeah. But so do you think your favorite foods have changed as well?
I probably eat more things than I did, but there's some things I wouldn't touch.
Okay.
I'm not a Brussels cabbage person. Now, I like the way you do
Yes.
Brussels.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I like that. But just to order them or eat them, and some of the trendy things I don't like. Don't like things really spicy.
Yeah.
I never have. So,
Okay.
that hadn't changed so much. But a lot of things, the new trends or the new way, don't like cauliflower, the new wave, things like that. I don't like them.
Okay. Do you think grocery shopping is harder now? Or has that just always been like
Uh,
about the same?
well, the only reason I'd say it's harder is like I went to Kroger the other day and they already, the shelves are out of things.
That's true.
That. And, things that you're looking for, they aren't there. So I don't know what that's going to be a sign of. If that's going to be a permanent thing or they just don't have their trucks lined up to keep store shelves supplied. I don't know. But I'm noticing that.
Okay. And then I want to ask some of your tips or like how you stay active, because I know you like to take your walks. What else do you like to do?
Right now, I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot. I'm on guilt trip about that. But, I belong to an exercise class over at Germantown Methodist Church. And I like that, but they've canceled that for now. So I
Okay.
need to do a lot more than I'm doing. And I could be, but it's hard to get motivated to do it. And, every time I sit in the chair, I think, I need to be out walking. And then I'll go walk around the neighborhood a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
the exercise program, I'm not doing it, and I should, and I know it.
Yeah. It's definitely challenging now, but if you get into like a routine, it might help too.
Yeah.
And then are there any new hobbies that you've kind of developed as you've gotten older?
No,
No.
nothing new.
Okay.
I used to do a lot more than I do now. I used to do needlework
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of needlepoint. But the problem with that was I took a course and I learned all the fancy stuff you could do. I didn't learn it, but I saw it. And I can't be satisfied with just the regular stuff.
Yeah.
But I enjoy doing that. And then years and years and years ago, I used to do some painting.
Okay. I've never seen your paintings.
Well, that's gone now. So
Oh.
I had some that I did, and not particularly good. I don't have a special talent with that, but it was something I did.
What kind of stuff did you use to paint?
Well, my favorite type of painting is more impressionistic. I like things
Okay.
where if you look at it a certain way, you might see something in it, or somebody else might see something different. I don't know.
I like that idea. Um,
That's my favorite type of paintings, but you know, I haven't done anything a long time and probably won't.
mhm. Do you find enjoyment with like cooking or baking, or do you feel like it's since it makes too much, do you feel like you don't do it as much?
I don't do it as much.
Yeah. I do have to say your cookies were good. My roommates enjoyed them.
Well, I can't make those. I have recipes that, if I have to do something, I can pull out something and it'll be good. But I just, cooking for one is the pits.
Yeah.
I look in the refrigerator and there's nothing there. It's like, okay, what do I do now? Because I just don't want to cook anymore.
Yeah. The motivation is harder.
Yeah, I can't stay motivated to do that. But if I have a special project, I want to make some more of those cookies because I've got a couple of people I want to give them to. And that was a recipe that a friend of mine brought to one of my bridge groups, and she gave that to everybody. And I think they're a little bit different.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any plans on, are you going to try to make anything for Thanksgiving?
Well, usually for Thanksgiving, I try to produce one thing. Now whether I pick it up and bring it or whether I make it, I don't know. Just because Sally right now doesn't have any idea how Thanksgiving's going to really play out.
That's true. It's very true.
But I can cook stuff and used to be into all that, but I'm not into it anymore.
I remember you said you made a really good soup.
Yeah, I've got a great recipe for vegetable soup.
Okay, well, you'll have to make that for me sometime.
Oh, I will, and I can freeze it.
Yeah.
That's good.
What
Well, I went down to Senatobia the other week. There's two other friends of mine. We went down there. There's a cute little dress shop, but she's closed right now and moving somewhere else in Senatobia. So they didn't have much there. They were waiting for the big move. And then there's a little restaurant there, and they were closed for eating in. You takeout. They have a lot of good takeout. And they have a soup that I love, and I got 3 quarts of it.
Wow.
It's boy soup.
Yeah. That's nice that they do that in bulk now.
Yeah. But and of course, being from Trinidad, being the small town it is, you don't have much. I didn't have much chance to expand eating certain foods.
That's true. It has a lot to do with geography.
Yeah, and Mother had one of the best cooks in Trinidad. And you look back on that now and things I don't like and things I, do like. So, I never did, but she never taught me how to do anything.
Okay, yeah. It's all about,
I never had pizza till I went to UT.
That's so crazy.
Well, they were just coming out with frozen pizzas. It wasn't as big a thing, but when I went up to Knoxville to UT, they had pizza places, and that was all new to me.
Yeah. Do you have any tips on how to stay healthy on when you're getting older, or like any words?
Well, the things I really noticed about getting older, I mean, it's more physical than mental.
That's true.
You don't change. I mean, your mind still thinks, I can do this, I do that, but you find out that you can't do as much. And the things that I notice is, like getting in and out of cars. I'm slower. So I'm slower on a lot of things. And I had to be careful because I can't afford to fall again.
Yeah.
So I really have to watch looking down. And Sally was telling me on our little trip, be sure to pick your feet up. Well, like that I had to watch and be reminded. But your mind doesn't get older with the body. That's the joke of the whole thing.
But I bet being with people helps too. Like,
oh yeah, now see, I've got a good group of friends, a lot of different things, and I'm pretty content with myself.
That's good.
For me to stay at home, but I've got a lot of telephone friends, garden club. I'm in 2 bridge clubs.
Look at you.
I've been involved with things, I'm probably, in a lot of ways, I'm probably more like my mother. In some my daddy. But in some ways, I think I'm like mother. Mother held court everywhere she went. And she was real outgoing, but daddy was more quiet. You know, he kind of kept it in here.
Mhm.
I'm probably some ways a combination of both.
Well,
Staying healthy, I've been lucky so far because I've been healthy.
I think so too.
I take care of myself and, you know, watch things. Got my flu shot the other week.
Good for you.
Don't want the flu, don't want the COVID, you know, being careful, washing hands, doing things like that. You know?
Was it recently that you said you went to the doctor and you had, was it pre-diabetes?
Yeah, and that surprised me. You know, I could have told them though, staying at home like I've been staying, you know, and being harder to eat anyway, I had been eating more sugar. And just because, no particular reason. But I had noticed that. But then I went back and had checked again the other day, and it's on a high level, but it's not.
Okay.
You stay so thirsty with the dry mouth.
Yeah, I had noticed that I had a dry mouth. It was
Yeah.
a lot, and that's one of the signs of diabetes, but it didn't show up. I mean, it was on the high point, but it didn't qualify for diabetes.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, we learned a bit about that too. So how did
Mhm.
your diet change after getting that advice?
Well, it makes me think, okay, I've got to be really careful and not eat the sugar. Stay away from that, you know, and don't buy it. And see, if I don't buy it, it's not in the house. I have to do something, drink more tea, you know, that kind of thing. And you know, just being aware of it and thinking about it. So some of that is just out of boredom.
Yeah, I agree. Me too. But well,
Anything else?
do you have anything else you'd like to share?
Well, let's see, Julia. Thinking about getting older. I mean, I think one thing about getting older, I don't know that this helps your nutrition at all, but you know, I don't let things bother me too much. I don't get too worked up about anything, but if I do, I probably don't handle it very well. You know, kind of explode. But I've always kind of been like that. You know, life is short and things aren't worth getting too worked up, upset about. But that's not a food thing, you know.
I
We're
think
talking
it's,
about food taste. They're just things that I don't like, but it's nothing to do with getting older.
yeah, just
That
being more
everybody else-
aware in general.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know of anything else in particular because, you know, the trends go with spicy foods and things like that, and I don't like that. And but pretty basic things, you know.
Well, I think,
Could not get a turnip green in my mouth.
is that a challenge?
I don't know. But things like that, I don't like at all. Real spicy things.
Yeah, I understand. But well, thank you so much.
Well, anytime you got any kind of question, I'll be a
Yeah.
perfect.
It was nice to
guest
see your
to
face.
answer.
I appreciate all the goodies and all the
Well,
notes.
sure, I'll be glad to send some of those. But it worked out real well this time that Sally had the box to send anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting it together and getting to the post office, another story.
I know.
But those cookies are good. I'm going to make some more real soon. I've got a couple of people on my list. I think there's something a little bit different, you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to, if I have a vegetable at night, and that's kind of the vegetable for the day.
Sometimes that happens to me too.
I mean, and like yesterday I went to Patrick's, and they have salmon croquettes on Friday. So I got that with broccoli. They steamed their broccoli, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet potatoes. Yeah, so the intention is there, but sometimes it doesn't always work out to it. But I keep that on my mind.
That's good. I'm glad you're conscious of it. But
Yeah. Well, I'm very conscious of it. It just doesn't always happen because it's got to be easy for me to do it.
yeah, no, accessibility is definitely key.
Now, I've got a good recipe for vegetable soup, and I'll probably make some of that and freeze some of it.
Yeah.
some of that cowboy soup that I did pick up in San Antonio. I could live a week on a pot of soup.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, going out, and then right now, you know, I've eaten in so many places and things like that, that it's not a special treat really to go out to eat.
Yeah. I bet, but you like going with mom to
Yeah.
little
Yeah, we
cafes
were
and
just,
stuff.
yeah, you know, that's always fun, just being like a date.
Yeah.
Come with somebody talking about things like that. But as far as the food, you know, the saying, people that live to eat or people that eat to live.
Yes.
So, you know,
I
not
love
that I
that.
don't like stuff, I do, but I just don't have to have it. It's
Yeah.
not mine about eating a lot.
That's true. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stop the video here. I don't want it to go too
Okay.
over, but thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome.
We've been shopping for you.
You're sweet.
Already starting on Christmas, so start building your list.
Well, thanks.
All right, honey, have a fun time with Hannah
Is
today.
it hot out there today?
It's not too bad. I think it's gonna be like 80, like 84 is the high, but
That better 97.